What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean P. the Blunt guy. Hey, so we back with another One Piece reaction, but we're gonna do it a little differently this time because we are doing a Reddit theory, something I haven't done in a while. But today we are gonna be reacting to a Reddit theory. And today's Reddit theory is from 3 Day Trip, and it is Blackbeard wasn't the first. Okay, now before we get into the theory, make sure you guys hit that like button, also subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, comment down below your thoughts on the theory. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Be it for me or the Reddit theory itself. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitch so you can engage with me live. You can let me know what I'm saying is off in real time, right? In real time. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and make sure you join the Discord so you can submit theories, be it theory videos, Reddit theory threads, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Join the Discord and come be a part of the community. All right, so got that all out of the way. So it says Blackbeard wasn't the first. Now I haven't read this theory. I kind of skimmed it, so I know I know pretty much what it's about. You know, I know it's pretty much from what I have seen. The theory is saying Blackbeard wasn't the first person in the One Piece verse to be able to utilize more than one devil fruit. You know, like one thing we learned about devil fruit is he's or not devil fruit. One thing we learned about Blackbeard is he's unique. He's a very unique character because as far as we know, he's the only person who's been able to consume more than one devil fruit. Now we don't know how. We don't know the basis. We don't know. You know, there's a lot of theories out there, right? There's a lot of speculation out there, but we don't know why he's able to do this. But this theory is going to tell us that he's not the first, or he's not the only, at least, or he's not the only, or he's not the first, at least, character or person able to consume more than one devil fruit. Now, and I have my own theories, and a lot of it is more of a multiple personality or soul theory. I'm a believer in that because I feel as though there is more evidence in that because we know that Blackbeard's body is not normal, right? It's been hinted at multiple times, you know, by when we see Shanks and we see Buggy talking to his kids about Blackbeard saying he's not normal, he doesn't sleep, you know. People speculated the reason why he doesn't sleep is because he has multiple souls and somebody's always awake, right? I've heard the triplet theory, right? Where it's three Blackbeard brothers, I guess you could say, three Teach brothers, three Teach brothers working in one body, right, in unison, and the multiple souls slash personalities. You know, I think the multiple, be it the three brothers or the multiple souls or personality theory, I think that's, to me, that's the more likely one. You know, and I always bring this up because to me it's kind of the biggest piece of evidence for me. But when we go back to Jaya, where we first meet Blackbeard, and Luffy and Zoro meet Blackbeard outside of that pub after meeting Bellamy, right? After Bellamy, that whole thing with Bellamy where Bellamy was saying that dreams or BS and all that stuff, and Luffy and Zoro just took their BS, right? So they was talking to Blackbeard, and then they walked away, and then Nami said something like, "What's up with that guy?" And then Zoro and Luffy both said, "It's not just that guy. It's they, right?" We didn't see the Blackbeard crew around at that time. Some people say, I've seen some people say that maybe Blackbeard crew was around somewhere, be it maybe through his Yami Yami no Mi devil fruit. Maybe they were hiding somewhere. That could be the case. That could be the case. If that was the only to me, if that was the only evidence of Blackbeard being different we got, I could probably take that. But when you take what Zoro and Luffy said about Blackbeard, and then you compound that on like the other things people have said in the story about Blackbeard, it just makes me think no, it's more to Blackbeard individually. You know what I'm saying? Like people say he does, they say he doesn't sleep. They say his body's weird, all these different things. It just makes me think there's just more to Blackbeard's character. He's not a normal person. You know what I mean? So you compound that, and then with the fact that Zoro and Luffy said like it's they, it's just too many coincidences right there for me to take each individual instance and say that, like, okay, well, it was the Blackbeard crew in this instance. He don't sleep because he's from a winter country. Come on, we've been to winter countries. Chopper's from a winter country. He sleeps. And we've been to Chopper's country, and there was never any mention of like, the citizens there being unique or anything. So I don't know. Maybe they don't sleep though. It's not like we've seen them. It's not like we didn't. It's not. I don't know. It's not like it wasn't mentioned that they can sleep. You know what I mean. I don't know. But let's get into this theory. Let's see what this theory is talking about. All right, because I'm curious. I feel as though it's going to conflict with my idea that Blackbeard has multiple souls or personalities, because that's my theory. I think each soul that lives within Blackbeard, like I believe there's three souls. We got the three-headed Jolly Roger. Why do we have a three-headed Jolly Roger, right? To me, it just I feel as though every pirate's Jolly Roger is indicative of who they are. Not the crew, who they are, who the captain is of that crew. We have the Straw Hat Pirates, right? Straw Hat Luffy. That's why they named them Straw Hat Pirates. The the Jolly Roger represents Luffy. He wears straw hats, right? Shanks, the redhead pirates. Shanks is the redhead on the crew, right? He is the captain. Whitebeard. I think his Jolly Roger has a mustache or something. I don't remember, but the Jolly Rogers are indicative to who the captain is. So if the Blackbeard pirates have a three-headed Jolly Roger, why is it three-headed? Why is it three-headed? Just saying. I'm just saying. I think, I think the Jolly Roger, I think the Jolly Roger kind of showcases that there's something different about Blackbeard. Now I heard cracking theories, which, shout out to Threevil. Great theory. You know what I mean? That's still not the theory that I believe the most, but it is a viable theory in my opinion. It's just, I'm still a big believer in the multiple souls theory. But Threevil, he has a great way of convincing. So I do think he has a good point, especially when you got the bones surrounding the three-headed Jolly Rogers, which could be looked at as, I think there's like 8 of them. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think there's 8 bones around the 3 heads, which you could look at as 8 tentacles, right? 3 heads. Now again, I'm not that familiar with octopus biology, but supposedly they have 3 hearts. Or I think Threevil's theory is more about the Kraken, not octopus. But Kraken probably has 3 hearts or brains or something. I'm not too sure. Another theory that I also considered heavily, right, when it comes to Blackbeard, is the hippopotamus, right? You know, if you know anything about like, okay, let's look at Shichibukai, right? Every Shichibukai, matter of fact, most characters in One Piece are based off of animals, right? You could say, I want to say, Kizaru is yellow pheasant or something like that. I think Akaino is red dog or something. Then we got Kuma, who's based off of like bears, boa Hancock, snakes, Mihawk, hawks and eagles. Luffy, monkey, D Luffy, monkey. There's a lot of characters you could base them off of, right? Blackbeard is based off of a hippopotamus. You know what I'm saying? There was a cover story with Blackbeard brushing his teeth next to a hippopotamus, right? And I think Oda confirmed it himself and said that Blackbeard's animal he's based off is the hippopotamus. If you know anything about hippos, hippos have 3 chambered stomachs, right? 3 stomachs. So if they got 3 stomachs, that means Blackbeard has 3 stomachs or could have 3 stomachs. 3 stomachs for 3 devil fruits. He already has 2 for what we know. Now, at least he has like a hippo devil fruit, then that would be his 3rd one, right? I don't know if he has a hippo devil fruit. I don't know if I believe he has a hippo devil fruit. I think if he had the 3rd devil fruit, we would have seen it by now, but we haven't. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just go with his body being unique. You know what I mean? His body being unique because because of the 3 souls that he have living within him. You know what I mean? So let's get into this theory. So this theory is from 3-Day Trip. The title is Blackbeard Wasn't the First. All right, so it says, now I know the Gorosei said there are no records of anyone ever eating 2 devil fruits before until Blackbeard, but what if till this day no one has ate 2 of them? I'm confused what he said. I think he's saying maybe nobody has tried to eat 2 of them, so we wouldn't know if more people could eat more of them. You know, maybe Blackbeard isn't the only one capable of doing it. He was just the only one that was willing to take the risk, and he succeeded because maybe he felt that he was different. Maybe there's some other unique people. I think that's what he might be trying to say. I think maybe there's people who tried and they've died because of it. That's why, you know, it's I don't want to say common knowledge, but to a degree, it's known knowledge that you can't eat devil fruits. You know, you can't eat more than 1 devil fruit. So, you know, again, I don't know how that hypothesis was proven true. You know what I mean? I don't know how it was proven true that if you eat another one, you would die. You know, but for some reason, it's like well-known knowledge among at least, you know, characters that we've seen, or at least the Gorosei pointed it out. You know, I don't know. And the devil fruit users that we have seen have never took the risk to do it. You know, that's kind of why I say it's common knowledge, because, you know, why haven't any other devil fruit, if they don't know about dying after taking a second devil fruit, why have other devil fruit users not just ate another devil fruit? I guess they would know that you would die if they done a second one, you know. But I don't know. Like, I don't know who took that risk and died for this knowledge to come out. You know what I'm saying? Angel says, I don't know why the Gorosei would even trust their own records. The Gorosei, I mean, maybe they've seen it. I don't know. We don't know why. We don't know how the Gorosei know that, but I don't get your argument there. Maybe it's firsthand knowledge. Just saying. What's good, Par Vision? He says we learned that from the CP9. They said Grand Line scholars confirmed it. It was interesting. It seemed like it wasn't a test. It was something that was well recorded. A singular instance of a person fracturing into nothing. Okay. Because I forgot when it was like when it was stated, And then you said it. I think it's Rocks. You think Rocks is the one who tried to eat another devil fruit, and that's how he died? Hey, I mean, there's something to that. Oh, I get what you're saying. You said Rocks might be the person who ate two devil fruits. You think he lived though? You think he possibly ate two devil fruits and survived? Or you think that might have been what killed him? And the angel said, yeah, scholars are more trustworthy. I'm pretty sure the Gorosei has some scholars, or have some people who like some. Yeah, they have scholars. I would assume they would have scholars as well. All right. It says, what if Blackbeard absorbed the power after Whitebeard's death, and it has nothing to do with eating it? Some people speculate Blackbeard had a fruit with him at the time. Interesting thought. I've heard theories that the devil fruit abilities are within his rings. Those are some theories that I heard. Like he didn't eat them, but they're in his rings. You know how Blackbeard has those rings. I don't know though. I think he ate them. Parvin said, I think he survived, but people think he died. Not sure it's so wonky when it comes to Rocks. Yeah, we don't got enough information on Rocks. We don't got enough info on him. So it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. All right, so we kind of see the devil fruit cycle thing where we got the devil fruit, the person eats it. They get powered up from it. They die. The devil fruit leaves their body and it comes back somewhere else, and then somebody else eats it. Now it says, what if he was not the first person to gain the power of two fruits? He was just the first person to show this ability. I mean, are we talking in current time, or are we talking in One Piece history in general? You know what I mean? Like, if you're talking in like the totality of the One Piece history, I think that's possible. I think it's possible. And we also gotta look at it like, how long have the Gorosei been alive? You know what I mean? Because they said nobody else ate more than one devil fruit, but maybe that's just within their lifespan. We don't know how long have they been around? Have they been around in the Void Century, before the Void Century? It's tough to say. Then he says, we have recently saw proof of the family of D using two devil fruit abilities with Luffy and Law 2. We have recently saw proof of the family of D using two devil fruit abilities with Luffy and Law 2, not just Blackbeard, but all three of them absorbed a part of the power shortly after someone close to them died. Okay, so with Luffy, it's like when we see Fire Fist Ace, he uses fiery punches. Law, I'm assuming when he say Law, he's kind of talking about the instance when with Big Mom, where he was able to where Big Mom, you couldn't hear Big Mom. He was able to kind of create like I think it was called Vroom or was it Kroom? It was one of them. And he created that sphere around Big Mom, and she couldn't, sound couldn't escape that thing, kind of like cortisone, right? So yeah, I kind of see where he might be going with this. Um, Parvati said it's chapter 385. I have linked to the panel. Okay, let me I could pull that up real quick. All right, so this is the panel. I like how I landed right on the panel as well. It said, "Oh no, don't bring that thing near me." Uh, Chapa Papa. It's my first time seeing one. Me too. And they got the devil fruit. What are you so upset about, Jabra? Idiot, don't you know if you possess those powers, it means the devil lives inside your body. For example, if I got close to that fruit, a devil would jump out of it and start fighting with the devil inside me, and my body would explode. Okay, Kaku says, really? And then Bluno says, don't be ridiculous. A member of an intelligent agency shouldn't be taken in by such common rumors. Grand Line scholars have already explained the conditions by which the powers are conveyed. What you're talking about is an example of someone who ate too. His body fractured until there was nothing left of it and he died. Okay, so yeah, supposedly there was somebody who was recorded of doing this. And then Lucci says, greedy fools destroy themselves if you think about the risk of just one fruit. You can imagine the curse incurred by consuming a second one. And then he says, what really? Okay, all right, yeah, I kind of forgot about that. I forgot about that scene, but yeah, good point. So it seems like there was somebody recorded who tried it. Angel said, I also hear a theory where Blackbeard doesn't have the fruit itself, but can recreate its powers, kind of like Kizaru's light with the pacifistas. Yeah, that's kind of what I think that's what this theory was just kind of explaining, like how Luffy is almost able to recreate Ace's abilities, and then Law was able to recreate Cortizone's abilities. We kind of talked about this, right? Like in old, it was an old Haki or Devil Fruit theory. Me and Elids kind of went back and forth about how people could create abilities, you know? So I kind of disagree with the idea that Luffy was able to recreate Ace's abilities because Ace died. I kind of believe that might be something to do with Haki, right? Because think about it. Sanji's able to do that. And Sanji and Ace isn't like necessarily related. He's able to light his leg on fire. You know what I mean? Zoro is able to manifest the demon Ashura or the god Ashura, right? That could be almost looked at as a devil fruit ability. So like me and Elids talked about how people how characters can manifest devil fruit abilities with Haki, right? Y'all, hey, go look at Elids' videos, right? Like go check Elids out. He talks a lot about creating abilities through devil fruits, or not through devil fruits, but through Haki. You know, matter of fact, we both speculated that devil fruits might be a byproduct of like people in the Void Century, right? Like who are able to create abilities and then they were turned into devil or devil fruits, you know. And it makes sense because I think people who are looked at as the Will of D, people who hold the title Will of D, they're looked at as devils, right? Devil fruits. So maybe the Will of D or people, the maybe the people of the Void Century, maybe there were more people who held that initial D, and they were able to manifest abilities, and when they died, maybe somehow they were turned into devil fruits. So we got characters who don't have devil fruits able to manifest abilities as if they did have devil fruits. You know what I mean? So there is something to Law and Luffy, but I don't believe it has anything to do with it because it's somebody who died that was close to him. You know. Angel says, I also hear a theory where Blackbeard doesn't. I read that already. Parveja says, I lean towards rocks because Lucci said the person who did it was greedy. So greediest person apparently is rocks. I think so greedy that he wanted to be king of the world. Good point. Good point. That, yeah. Rocks was definitely greedy, right? That could be the case. Maybe Rocks is I don't like. I'm thinking like, what if Blackbeard and Rocks are just like two sides of the same coin almost? That's kind of like I don't know. I'm trying to think. Maybe Rocks died. I think Blackbeard was alive when Rocks was alive, so I couldn't say he reincarnated as Blackbeard. But yeah. And when it comes to the Pacifista Angel, I think I don't think I think the Pacifists are a little different. I think that's more of a result of science, like Vegapunk integrating that, and I don't necessarily disagree with that statement. I just think that is more when we're talking specifically to Pacifista, I think that is more related with science than it is with being able to recreate uh, powers. I mean, it you could say it is kind of related because Vegapunk might know how to recreate Devil Fruit abilities. So him doing that, he might have been able to integrate that into the Pacifista. But when I'm talking about living individuals being able to recreate Devil Fruit abilities. He says after the death of Whitebeard, Blackbeard absorbed his powers consciously by force, possibly using his devil fruit powers. But Luffy and Law did it subconsciously. Or maybe Rosazante Ace and Ace's will was passed on in the form of the devil fruit powers, but Blackbeard left the will behind and absorbed only the powers. I'm a little confused. Or maybe Resonante and Ace will has passed on in the form of the devil fruit powers, but Blackbeard left the will behind and absorbed only the power. Okay, I get what he's saying. He's saying like Luffy and Law got Ace's and Corazone's abilities through them inheriting their wills. Where Blackbeard, he didn't take the will, he just took the powers. But it's still the same process. It's like you eat the chicken, but it's like he ate the chicken, but he like left the bone. Where Luffy and Ace, they ate the whole chicken, including the bone. It's the best way I kind of explain it. In short, I think this is an ability that the D clan have. It is a way to pass on their will and or for another to carry it forward. The first person to absorb someone's devil fruit was Law after Cortisone died. I hate saying Resonate. I just rather say Cortisone. He showed his ability on Onigashima when he silenced Big Mom. He used Cortisone's powers and techniques. Again, I don't think it's a D clan exclusive thing. I think that like cause Sanji is able to manifest fire as well. He had no connection with Ace, and he's able to manifest fire. I think anybody can create abilities. You know what I'm saying? I I think anybody could create. Now you might have to have an affinity towards that ability, but I think anybody could create devil fruit like abilities through like Haki. You know what I mean? Through will, right? Zoro, Zoro's Ashura. You know, that could almost be looked at as similar to a devil fruit ability. Sanji using lighting his leg on fire could be looked at as a meta no me ability, right? Neither of them are D like part of the D clan, and neither of them have connections to uh Sabo, and Zoro doesn't have a connection, as far as we know at least, to somebody who uses the Ashura. Like he doesn't have a connection to Ashura Devil Fruit user. You know what I mean? But they're able to manifest these abilities. So it just makes me think that it makes me believe that people could recreate devil fruit like abilities. On the other hand, though, I think what Blackbeard did, I think he took that devil fruit. I still firmly believe he took that devil fruit because he uses it just like Whitebeard. But let's continue. Luffy was holding Ace when he died. Luffy was holding Ace when he died and later gained the power of fire. He showed his ability after the time skip. Yeah. Although these powers were passed on or absorbed, it is still possible that the fruits were still grown elsewhere. Just like Ace's devil fruit, I think they only absorbed a portion of the powers or techniques. I also speculate that if someone without any devil fruit powers from the D clan absorbed the powers in this way, that they would not suffer the curse of the devil fruit itself. They would still be able to swim. I'm not saying this is fact, but in my opinion, it is a possibility. Okay, I get what he's saying. He's saying like if you absorb a devil fruit ability in this fashion, you would still be able to swim because it's not like you ate a devil fruit, right? But again, I don't know if I believe they absorbed a portion of the power. I just think they created these abilities, you know. And then he says, I'm not saying this fact, but it's my opinion. It is a possibility. Edit. One Piece really does bring joy to my life and so many others. And I know there are probably many ways for the characters to gain a power such as fire, lightning, etc. But this was fun and I want to share it. If the D clan is from the ancient kingdom and knew something bad was going to happen, maybe their only choice was to put their soul, will, power into a fruit. In other words, devil fruits are their very own creation. Thanks for all your help, Tachi. Okay, so that is the theory right there. Okay, so yeah, again, he talks about being able to absorb, like especially if you're a D clan member, being able to absorb maybe a portion of the abilities from someone who died that's significant to you. And maybe Blackbeard did that as well with Whitebeard, except he didn't absorb Whitebeard's will. He just left the will behind and took the ability. Again, like I would say, because we see Sanji be able to conjure fire similar to how Luffy conjure fire, right? And I don't think Luffy is using Ace's abilities to the level that Whitebeard is using, or Blackbeard is using Whitebeard's abilities, right? So I don't think they're the same. I don't think Law and Law and Luffy are the same as Blackbeard, right? I think Law's I think Law's ability in itself, like his devil fruit ability, his ability to be able to manipulate time and space, I think I think he can find a way to eliminate sound, right? Like just think about it like this. When you look at space, when you look at the vacuums of space, there's no particles, there's no atoms and molecules in space, other than like the like asteroids and stuff that float through space. But in the emptiness, the empty parts, the uh the empty parts of space, of outer space, there aren't like there isn't oxygen like there is on Earth. Like sound travels through oxygen. It due to the particles in the air. That's how sound travels. In space, there isn't no oxygen particles. There's no way for the sound to travel. So if you talk in space, you won't hear nothing. Well, you couldn't talk because you'll be dying. But if a planet exploded in space and you was there, you wouldn't hear the planet explode because there's no way for that sound to travel, right? And seeing how Law is a his ability is to be able to manipulate space, right? I can see it. I can see him using that specific ability to be able to copy copy Cortizone's devil fruit in a way, to a degree, right? So that's kind of why I disagree when it comes to Law. When it comes to Law copying Cortizone's ability, I don't think it has anything to do with like devil fruit abilities being passed down to Law. I think Law's ability just kind of makes it possible, if that makes sense. It makes it possible for him to copy Cortizone's ability because he already manipulates space. And if you can manipulate space, you could potentially be able to manipulate the sound within that space. You know what I'm saying? But that's when it comes to Law. When it comes to Luffy, I think that might be more of a Haki thing. Sort of like Sanji. I think Luffy's able to manifest fire in the same way that Sanji's able to manifest fire. It's more of a Haki type ability, right? Because both Luffy and Sanji have been able to manifest fire like similar to Ace, right? Except the only difference you could say is like Luffy was close to Ace and Sanji wasn't. You know, but why is Sanji able to do that? I mean, I guess you could argue science since, you know, Sanji is a Vin Smoke and all that. I don't necessarily think that is the case. But Sanji's able to manifest fire just like Luffy, you know, at the same level, sort of. You know, because it ain't like Ace, it's not like Luffy is turning his whole, he's not turning his whole arm into fire to where it's like intangible, right? Like a Logia. You know what I mean? Like he's not able to make it to where he could turn his arm into fire. It's just fire coating his physical arm. Sanji, same thing. It's fire coating his physical leg. Me personally, I believe that is a Haki trait. I think that's a Haki trait. Angel said the Sanji thing could be explained as Lunarian DNA. It could, but we don't know that. We don't know that. You know, we don't know that. You know, how is Zoro able to manifest a demonic like Ashura, right? That could be part of the sword's doing, but still, you know what I mean? Like, I think that I more so think those are Haki things. I think people could manifest abilities through the use of Haki, you know. Now, I kind of want to see some of these comments, right? I kind of want to read some of these comments, see what the people are saying. So, Nobara Chinsama, Nobara Chinsama, he says some fruits just have multiple usage. Law's fruit alone has a bunch of abilities, can be their own fruits. He can float, cut, can teleport, and rearrange stuff, switch personalities, and more. And I don't know why people always bring up Luffy's Red Hawk like it's something unique. Kinemon can create fire out of nowhere. Okay, exactly. I don't think conjuring fire is like is like that big of a deal. I don't think like again he even I forgot about Kinemon. He even says Dolphy can heat up his strings. The same with Katakuri. Do they have ovens fruit? Of course not. Oda is just using his creative license. Good point. Good point. I don't think I don't and like he said with Law, I think that's a byproduct of something he is able to manage with his devil fruit ability. He is able to manipulate space. So it wouldn't shock me that he could make it to where sound can't travel outside of a bubble that he creates, since he can manipulate it, and he's a lot stronger post time skip than he was pre time skip. So it, I could see him almost being inspired by Cortisone and able to copy like able to do something similar to Cortisone's ability. It's not like Cortisone's devil fruit it was even all that. Like it's not like it had, it was just being able to manipulate sound to a degree, right? But you know, with Law, I think his devil fruit could do something like that. That's how I always chalked it up. I don't see it him taking on Cortisone's abilities. It's just his devil fruit is able to manipulate space. So it's. I feel as though it's like, what's the word I'm trying to find? I'm always forgetting words that I need at the time that I need them. It's like it's prone to be able to do something like that. Somebody below him says also Vivre cards literally state that Luffy's Red Hawk is result of Gear 2 speed plus heat plus armament. Um I I think I mean I didn't read the Vivre card, so I couldn't even state, but somebody below him, D Claude Boys, says even without that info, I think this is a case where we're supposed to make these sort of connections. Gear 2 involves Luffy's metabolism speeding up to the degree he starts to steam. It's not a stretch to add fire for acoustic flourish given that bit of in-story justification. I'd also add that no one in the world reacts to Luffy's Red Hawk about being a flame as if it's anything unusual, which the audience should consider in their speculation. If the in-world inhabitants don't find it strange, it's either fair to expect that there's another explanation that sidestep the thing the characters do find unusual, or that it's artistic license to communications something for audience benefit, or because it looks cool, which is also to our benefit. There are exceptions, of course, and this doesn't mean there couldn't be some reveal down the line that throws this in doubt, but I think sometimes people trying to come up with interesting hypotheses forget that friction gives us all sort of clues about what we're supposed to find strange or unusual that includes how others react. It's important to look at these smaller bits of information in larger context, and that larger context includes the whole world, the characters inhibit, and what they think of the events we're witnessing. Good point. Good point. I mean, I think that's true to a degree. I think that's true to a degree, but I kind of think it. I kind of believe in like that. It might be more of a hockey trait, you know. Hey, all right. Next person in that main thread that by Nobra Chinsama, he says it's the same thing with Sanji. His Diable Jinbe makes fire due to kinetic energy. Bounty Hunter says, plus, with what we know of Luffy's Devil Fruit, it's pretty obvious where our or where Red Hawk comes from. Same with his giant electric kick he uses against Shinjao. See, a lot of their arguments are more based on like physics and stuff. You know, like uh like friction, rubber, all that stuff. And that's true to a degree as well. I think that could be the case as well. I personally think it's a hockey thing, but you know, can't argue the logic. You know, you can't argue the logic. You know, I don't. I just think it's more ways to explain Luffy being able to do that than Ace him gaining a piece of Ace's power, right? Because he doesn't gain any of the intangibility of Ace, you know. In Law, I think to me Laws is easy to explain. You know, to me Laws is easy to explain. Um. So in the sub comment we still got. I always thought the fire was a type of hockey that relies on emotional energy like Sanji. Dragon Whiskers, shout out to Dragon Whiskers. I kind of agree with that as well. I think that could be the case as well. I always took those abilities as Luffy. Well, this is from Fuzzy Pyrocat. I always took those abilities as Luffy and Law learning to manipulate their power base off someone else. Luffy had also seen Sanji use fire himself, and he has no powers that make fire. Yeah, yeah. Job Rick says I originally figured Red Hawk was just an extension of Gear Two's heat up effect. Okay, and then King John Stargarian says, not to mention, apparently his fruit is that of the sun god, and the sun is just a big ball of plasma, which fire is made of. And then J.K. Neri says, not to mention, Luffy isn't actually a rubber man, but can do anything he can imagine. I mean, that is kind of a good point. That is kind of a good point. I would not lie about that. I'm a stop right there though. I'm gonna stop right there with all the comments. I'm gonna just say this. You know, I think those, and I don't want to like. I'm not trying to shit on the theory. I like the theory. I like the theory, but I think there are other explanations that can explain while they're able to copy these abilities from, you know, these two important people, you know, like while Luffy and Law is able to copy these abilities. Cause like if you're using Law and Luffy as a case, because I think in the theory he says something like if somebody close to you die, you could take on their will. I don't think that's the case. Like, cause Blackbeard wasn't close to Whitebeard, not in the way that Luffy and Law were close to Ace and Kota Zone, right? I think Blackbeard took the devil fruit personally. I think he did. I think in Dressrosa when we met Burgess, when we seen Burgess had that knife, which I think that knife is meant to carve out devil fruits. I think there's something mystic about that knife. We seen Burgess going after Luffy because he wanted Luffy's devil fruit. And I think that was the same knife Blackbeard might have used. I think. I'm not sure. So I think Burgess was going after Luffy's devil fruit. And Burgess and Luffy is not close by any means. You can make an argument that Blackbeard might have been somewhat close to Whitebeard since he was on the crew at one point. So maybe that's why he was able to take on Whitebeard's abilities. But Burgess and Luffy had zero connection. And I think Burgess was confident he could take Luffy's devil fruit, with that knife. You know what I mean? So I think Blackbeard took Whitebeard's devil fruit. I think we haven't seen anybody else with that devil fruit yet. So, if somebody pulls up with Whitebeard's devil fruit ability, then we could probably start questioning Blackbeard and how he got the ability. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of my thoughts on it. But yeah, y'all let me know y'all thoughts on this whole Blackbeard having 2 devil fruit abilities. Let me know down in the comments. But yeah, that is the theory. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Also, comment down below your thoughts on the theory. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Do you have your own theory on Blackbeard? What is your theory? Why can Blackbeard eat multiple devil fruits or consume multiple devil fruits? Is Blackbeard the only person who is able to have multiple devil fruits in history? I don't know if he was the only one, but again, I personally think that's something special with Blackbeard's body. I think that's something. Maybe there's been other people who existed with unique bodies like Blackbeard, but as of current time, I think he's the only person that we've been introduced in the story with that unique body and capable of consuming multiple devil fruits. But yeah, also follow me on Twitch so you can engage with me in real time. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And make sure you join the Discord. The Discord is the best place to engage with me. That's where I usually engage the most. If you want to submit videos or Reddit threads or threads from other websites to react to, I have a submission channel in the Discord where I will check them out, right? I'll definitely check them out. And if you want to submit other stuff for me to react to, I might react to it in like a chill stream or something. But you have to be part of Discord. The link to this theory will also be in the description box, as well as all my other socials and my Discord and all that stuff. But anyway, y'all, it's your boy Sean P, the Bluff God, and I'm out of here. Peace.